Well, hello, YouTubers. I'm Kirito's dad. I'm doing this on his channel just to talk to you guys and talk about him. Today would have been his 16th birthday. I often wonder what he'd be doing, what he'd be wondering about, what he'd be into next. Because that kid was, he'd get in one thing to the next. It was amazing. I mostly want to talk about what happened to him and why, because I mean it's been a full year, and at first it was a heck of a shock to my family and myself, and our world was rocked to the core. And it wasn't about placing blame, because if anything, I immediately placed the blame on myself. And there was a lot of chatter in the background, mostly his mom, and she had it figured out. By day 2, she took to the Facebook world and explained exactly what happened to him. And I realized the duration of his life and the time I've known her, she's never accepted responsibility for anything. And when she does, it's because she's broken or borderline personality or bipolar or something like that, which I think doesn't give you an excuse to do or destroy anyone. Elijah constantly, well, not constant, but he repeated that the worst day of his life is when his mother and I divorced. And his mother and I had been divorced. We were married for 6 years. I mean, we'd been divorced 10 years, and he would still come over, and he would be freshly agitated by her and blaming me for the divorce. I don't even know why I'm talking about that. It is neither here nor here. This family is without an amazing kid. So let me talk about him first. Down here is like a family room. This is where Elijah spent a lot of his time. As you can see, his video game is up here. Of course, he's got his PS3 there. That's where he actually left it. And then this wall I had up, this was a deer that he and I had killed. You can see a reflection in the window there. That's horrible. Hold on. It's a deer he and I had killed in 2011 on November 5th. That's the hide. I don't know why he wanted it, and I kept it and tanned it myself. This is a deer that he had harvested on November, let's say 26th, 2015. And then, of course, on his channel, you know about the deer that he tracked, and this is the one I shot off my balcony in the food plot and back. And that's the last video he made of us deer hunting. That was November, I believe it was 24th of 2016 or something like that. And then what else I wanted to talk about was the 15 months that I actually got custody of him. I was amazed when Elijah was held to a standard, and all kids need to be held accountable, you know, and I wasn't extremely mean or anything like that. I thought I was a good parent before this happened. I'm not fishing for, oh, you're okay, you're great. It's just, I don't think there'd be a parent out there that couldn't blame themselves for not seeing this. And the worst part is his mom said he was suicidal at 10 years old. But even then, I have, you know, the evaluation from court, and, you know, Perry Memorial Hospital, records of Elijah evaluation, writing about death, which he wasn't. He was writing about Native Americans and the first time they met foreigners or Europeans with metal. So he drew a picture of a sword and an Indian with a cut hand. And that was a picture. And writing about death, Elijah was a heck of a storyteller. It had nothing to do with it. I mean, he's even got an award here. I don't know if you could see this. Certificate of Merit, Young Author Celebration. And that's the picture I have on Facebook where he actually met an author, and he got that book right there. Bird. I don't know if that focuses here. And then, of course, this is the story here. And he even drew a diagram of what the tribe would look like, and you know, that was like their coat of arms. I mean, he was very, very creative. Okay, so back to that, right? Writing about death. Anyway, no not found to be suicidal. Okay, St. Margaret's Hospital, emergency room records of Elijah evaluation, past report of wrapping head in blanket, dated 11/19/14, found not to be suicidal. Linden Oaks, records of Elijah, psychiatric hospitalization for evaluation of suicidal risk. He was diagnosed with depression, acute stress disorder, and attention deficit disorder, not found to be suicidal. Now, he had anxiety. He was anxious, very much so. But I think that's a product of his environment. He was going into the 9th grade, and he had already been in 7 different schools, and he had missed a year of school. I mean, to me, I think any kid would be unhinged. There's no security. There's no solid ground. He doesn't know where he's going to be or who mom's new boyfriend is, or his mom accused me of holding him down and calling him a faggot. And that is amazing to me. I would never do that to any of my children or call a person that alone. When Elijah was asked by a court-appointed psychiatrist on how to grade mom and dad, it's funny, helping to understand his feelings. It was the A to F. Dad was A, mom was F. Able to be trusted with a secret, listen to problems. Dad was A, mom was F. Helping him understand things. Dad was A, mom was F. And making holidays special. He was asked how well each parent does at answering questions about sex. He didn't know how well Dad would do because he had never asked him anything. Now, Elijah was still a very young boy, and he was kind of socially behind. That's the best way I could put it. His mom, I don't know, she kind of keep him out of the light. He didn't really, the first birthday party he had with friends from school and an overnight stay was when he was 14 years old, and I got in custody of him. He never asked me anything, but his mother always brings up the topic and once made me watch a stupid video about transgender people. He further commented that his mom was not good at all at understanding how he feels things because she can always find the answer on Facebook. So that in a nutshell, his mom right now is trying to tie his death to a political agenda, which is sickening. And she says he's non-binary, he was... She had an agenda with him to begin with. I think she wanted to raise him to be gay or raise him to be transgender or something like that. And there's a difference between raising your children to be very accepting of people and being yourself, and then having an agenda to teach them to be one way. And he wasn't that way, because when he moved in with me, I took all those chains of burden off of him. I didn't have those expectations from him. The expectations I had were very simple and should be required of any child, and that is chores, personal hygiene, your assignments in school, okay? He excelled. When he had responsibility, he took off with it, and he loved being a big brother. He loved it. He was my son Ethan, who's here right now, and he's homesick with the strep throat, so God gave me an answer so I didn't have to be alone today. But he was like Ethan's guardian angel. How many times did Ethan save your butt?
Elijah, you mean?
Elijah, yeah.
Like 5 times?
He pulled Ethan out of a pond once we were fishing. That happened twice, didn't it?
He saved me from that dog.
Yeah,
bit me in the back.
A big dog picked Ethan up and started over a Rottweiler. And it was because Ethan was on a swing, so the Rottweiler didn't understand the movement, and naturally Elijah just acted and beat the dog with a big stick from an oak tree, a fallen stick. So he was just an amazing young man. I forgot my point. Anyway, his mom did have an agenda with him, and he wasn't filling that agenda. It was the perfect storm for what happened to Elijah. I still got stuff I want to show you here. This, he got 3rd place in the Waltham Science Fair. Okay, this is stuff he had. He did, see, that's the academic bull. He was extremely well. He was, a matter of factly, a knowledgeable, quizzy type of kid. God, that just blurs. I don't know how to make it. All right. Let's see. Then here is the Scholastic Bull, second place. God, none of this. Okay, there we go. And then, of course, most recently award was the Honorary Green Hand Award from FFA when he was first. He only attended high school for a month or so. So that's that. Anyway, what's going on about his mom and her agenda for him? And I would like the world to, and especially his Kirito followers or any friends or anyone that knows him.
Kirito.
Kirito?
Yeah.
All right. It's an anime figure. Yeah. Elijah loved that. So anyway, like I said, on his birthday, I'm thinking about him, and I just want people to know he's nothing of what his mother says. There are aspects and slivers of truth in his life. Aspects and slivers of truth in what she's saying, but she's twisting it to give it a political agenda, and most importantly, she's eluding or evading all responsibility and putting it solely on me, which I believe in life, you always have to consider that at the minimum, you're 10% wrong. Even if you think you're 100, 90% not wrong, 10% considerate, okay? And that is how you learn and develop in life, and you don't repeat the same mistakes. His mom, she grew up with a mom who is also borderline personality disorder and guilted her into loving her and not leaving her side, and and Elijah's mom did that very much to him too, and he had a different kind of brand of loyalty, and that was family above all. As a matter of fact, in this is a composition book, and in this composition book, he has in here a story, and it's really, got to give me a minute. This is the way his mind worked. I love it. He says, "Hello, my name is Elijah. You can call me Eli.